So it's a really interesting question of when do we get back to some form of normalcy? If this variant doesn't do it, I don't know what is going to do it.
Buck Sexton.
How many people under 50 unvaccinated who die are going through cancer treatment and can't get the vaccine? Or those are the numbers we need to have.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. Tomorrow at 11 on News Talk 1310 WIBA.
Hey, neighbor. Nice mower.
Hey, Sean Cleary. Yep, we really love it. But it takes up so much space in the garage.
I think I can help with that.
She's all
Bill's home with his giant work truck that takes up the entire driveway.
You know I can help with that. We are here for every stage of your life. Head to clearybuilding.com today.
Sean?
I can help with that.
Your home for everything Badgers. This is 1310 WIBA Madison, an iHeart radio station. Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Family Insurance, Oak Park Place, Wild Rock Golf Club, Zimbrick European, also University Ridge Golf Course, Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin.Golf, Cleary Building Corp, and Nevada Bobs. Now from the new home of TPC Wisconsin in Madison, here are the hosts of Talking Golf, member of the Wisconsin.Golf Hall of Fame, the legendary Dennis Tiziani, longtime Madison sportscaster Paul Braun, and Wisconsin sports veteran and statewide
What time is it? It's got to be right on time, isn't it? 6 o'clock.
Welcome to TPC Wisconsin, along with Dave McCann, our engineer, Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller. I'm Paul Braun, getting ready for our second show of the year. And Mike, first of all, last week we had you on, but you were up at Century World, so you're now part of the lineup here, and welcome to the show.
Oh, live and in person, and I hope to be back a third week next week. We'll see what Dennis says after this hour.
Well, we had about 3 hours of discussion this week about whether. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I don't know about you two, but I don't know if I've ever watched golf on television and felt more emotion, excitement, drama, fan reaction than watching that PGA Championship over the weekend. Brooks Koepka won his 5th major and his 3rd PGA Championship. But a guy named Michael Block kind of stole the show in a certain way, didn't he?
Yeah, Michael Block stole the highlights. You know, he was being celebrated, and I think the emotion of the fans in Rochester were all with Michael Block, a guy they didn't know before Saturday. Maybe they knew him when they made the cut, but they didn't know him before Saturday. And Brooks Koepka, who won his 5th major, puts him in pretty elite company. My goodness, and that the highlight of him was taken by Michael Block, who dunked one on 15 for a hole-in-one and then made an up and down to secure his top 15 finish, which gets him back a year from now. And he's a club pro. He's a club. That's what this tournament is. There are 20 PGA of America members who are in the field, and he was top 15, which is, Dennis, that's extraordinary.
Well, it's tough. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's really tough to compete with those guys.
Right.
Because it's in June or it's in May. They're busy working. They ain't got time to hit balls or practice or stuff like that. I went through that playing in those Opens and stuff, and oh boy, the Open's next week, so you're all trying to get ready for it pretty hard. But he did that. He competed, and he made that hole-in-one. You're right. It was so great to see the reaction of McIlroy, hugging him and smiling and stuff. I mean, how good is that, you know?
In fact, we've got some audio, and it's courtesy of CBS Sports, as he chatted after the tournament was over about his feelings, and he started with the hole-in-one.
So I literally walked down about another 20, 30 yards, and I look back at him, I'm like, did that go in the hole? Because everyone's going crazy, right? And you can see me right here. I literally turn around, I'm like, did that go in the hole? And the next thing I know, it did. I've never made a hole-in-one in a tournament in my entire life. And to make it at that time on hole 15 with the crowd and everyone there and the support I've had from the Rochester fans was probably the most surreal moment that I'll ever have in my life, and I definitely enjoyed it, so I'm cool with it.
So this is your best moment. This is also your son's best moment of his life. You said it yesterday that this was the best week of your life. What do you call it now?
Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate you making me cry. It's amazing. I'm living a dream. I'm making sure that I enjoy this moment. I've learned that after my 46 years of life that it's not going to get better than this. There's no way. No chance in hell. So I'm going to enjoy this, and thank you.
Comments.
That's pretty good.
And what a humble guy, huh? Yeah. You couldn't help but love the guy.
And he's not lying. It's not going to get better. It can't get better. That's the moment of your life if you're a golfer.
That's Travis' buddy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Travis Becker, the director of golf. In fact, on his segment, which will come up later in the show on instruction, he talks about that with Mike and I.
They graduated the Golf Academy together, and so they played some golf together and know one another. We'll get Michael Block on the show at some point down the road. I think Travis
maybe
will
we'll get him to pay us, to be honest.
What we're also going to have on the show tonight, and I think this is going to be kind of interesting, we're going to have a new topic. It's called the Hot Topic of the Week in Golf. And as you might well imagine, that hot topic is going to be...
what could it be?
What happened over the weekend in terms of Koepka winning. We're going to talk Live Golf. We're going to talk about the Ryder Cup. And Gary D'Amato, Dennis Tiziani, and Mike Heller, I'm going to ask each one of them the same question. I've got about 6 questions.
Oh, boy.
In relating to the Live Golf Ryder Cup. And we'll do that with Gary D'Amato and get some interesting thoughts. And you think that guy to your left will have any strong opinions over there?
No, I didn't think we were even going to start the show. You brought it up before we began live, and I thought he might leave. No, he'll stay.
We'll be back on Talking Golf after this timeout at TPC Wisconsin.
Cool.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. Whether you're looking for your first Cleary building or your fourth, your happiness is still priority one. The Cleary experience is about making your building process exciting and stress-free. Contact Cleary today to set up a free consultation and let your Cleary specialist design the building of your dreams with our DreamMaker 3D software. Experience ClearyBuilding.com today.
Cleary built with pride before the Shamrock supplied.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com. Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Looking for new equipment? TPC Wisconsin has a team of certified top 100 club fitters technology and ball flight to determine better. Only at TPC.
Jim was here at the University of Wisconsin. Travis Becker bought it. Not worried about Gary DeMolay because we want a chip that ties him. And we'll start with Gary. Does that qualify him?
Absolutely, no doubt. I mean, three players in the.
He's one of the top championships.
And all the honors with the long rough. Other players, he does it very well.
Does his winning
you know, a lot of players when they holes over there, no cuts, playing in shorts with music blaring. You look at what they did in the PGA fourth play, no matter where they are. But does it do anything for LIV to heighten LIV? No, I really don't think so. I mean, LIV had its moment in the sun, I think, last year with all the news and the publicity about players going over there, and there was a big story every week about LIV, but all the publicity has really died down, and I think Brooks said it best. He played as an individual. He was happy that he represented LIV, but he was playing as an individual in the PGA.
Before you two guys answer that, let's play the comments that Gary is referring to that Brooks Koepka had exactly about the LIV Tour. Gary, David's looking for him. We'll go past that, David.
I think so. Look at it as I think I was the first guy to win two LIV events. So, to win a major is always a big deal, no matter where you're playing. And I think that's all it does is I just think, I guess, validates it for myself. I guess maybe if anybody doubted it from Augusta or whatever, any doubts anybody on TV might have or whatever, that I'm here, I'm back, I'm here.
So I think his answer, Paul, is the answer. It validated Brooks Koepka. It's nothing to do with the LIV Tour.
Right.
The guys who are going to play at the highest level, whether they play on LIV or the PGA or the European PGA, they're their players. I don't think this matters. You know when the LIV will matter? Is when people decide they're going to watch their tournament on television, and nobody has done that, and you can't even tell me where it is. I know it's on the CW. I guess I answered my own question. But until people watch it, that's the legitimacy of LIV. The players are legitimate before they went to LIV, and that didn't change. Dennis?
Players are tour players. They play for the money. LIV gave them the money. I respect them for going to do that. I do not respect the fact that they gave up in support of the PGA Tour, although they never ever did say anything bad about the PGA Tour, but they followed the money. I can't blame them that. You measure the size of the pro player today by how much money he makes. That's how you do it. Every place you go, it's how much money did you make, and that gives you the size of the player. This guy is a good player, and those other boys are good players too. Even lefties is good. You know, I hate to say that, lefty. But even the lefty is a good player. And they can putt. Those guys are good. Cams, they're all good players. But the fact that they gave up that loyalty. And then I look at the other way. You know what's really going to happen? They're going to bring golf to another level by giving golf over there on the LIV, and I think someday there's going to be a get-together.
Yep. And let's do a follow-up on that. In terms of LIV is suing the PGA, so that's a potential very expensive lawsuit. Gary, does having had what happened this past weekend, does it hurt the PGA Tour in any way?
No, I don't think so. As great as Brooks played and some of the other guys from LIV, I mean, some of the best PGA Tour players were right there in the mix too. Scotty Scheffler was right there. Rahm had a bad week, but McIlroy had a better week. I mean, those guys they're all superstars no matter where they play. Some of them have chosen, as Dennis said, to take the money and go to LIV, and I respect them for that. At least the ones who have been open and honest and said it was for the money. But PGA Tour still has its superstars, and they're not going to be affected by this in any way.
Mike?
Yeah, I would agree with Gary. I don't know that that a live player winning a major championship, and shoot, there's 2 more majors, it's probably going to happen again. I mean, there's a fair shot that it happens again this year. I don't think it diminishes what the PGA Tour is. And again, I'll go back to television ratings. When television gets hurt, when PGA Tour and CBS or whoever they're on, when they get hurt by live, that's when it becomes real. And that's what happened in the NBA and the ABA. It's what happened in the NFL and the AFL, where there was some merger, some conglomeration of the two. Live won't hurt the PGA Tour until the ratings get hurt on television.
I agree. And that, and the other part is that as soon as those players get older, because remember, we used to have Trevino and Nicklaus and Player, Gary, they got older, and they were superseded by some players coming up. We have a tremendous stable of young players that are coming up through that Korn Ferry Tour. So we've got, that's going to continue on to go, and they're going to draw people. And these people, like I said, they did it for the money, good for you, and big money. But you know, when you give your loyalties to a foreign power, that irritates me.
And here's something else that may irritate you then. We're going to move on.
Great.
Really?
The ramifications for his potentially being a member of the Ryder Cup team. Now, Zach Johnson, who's the captain of the next Ryder Cup team, said it's premature to talk about team members right now. He did say he will not go to live events to watch players play. Part of the selection process is based on points. Brooks is number 2 in points in 2 events. Scotty Scheffler, after the tournament, said, the main goal is to win the Ryder Cup. We have not won in Europe in a long time. I want the 12 best players on the team. The Ryder Cup, if you break it down, you're playing for your country. You're not playing for any money, and you're not playing for a tour. Based on that backdrop, Gary, should Brooks Koepka be part of the team?
Well, I think you teased it in part of your question there, Paul. And how badly does the U.S. want to win? If they really want to win the Ryder Cup for the first time in 30 years on foreign soil, and depending what happens from there on, but based on what he did in the PGA Championship, by all means, you want Brooks Koepka on your team. He's an assassin. He's a killer. He's fearless. He's got no nerve. He loves the big moment. How can you not put a guy like that on your Ryder Cup team? Now, reading between the lines, I know Zach Johnson probably doesn't want to put guys from Live on the team, but I think that decision is going to be out of his hands a little bit, and I think the players are going to ask for these guys if they're playing as good as Brooks played this past weekend.
Gary, whose blessing would Zach Johnson have to get in order, as a captain's pick, to select Brooks Koepka or any Live player to play in the Ryder Cup?
I think the only blessing he would have to get would be the players who are going to be on the team, who have made the team on points, and that he knows are going to be there. I'm sure he's going to run all this stuff past those guys, and if they all say, we don't want Brooks on the team, he won't be on the team. But who in their right mind would not want Brooks Koepka on the Ryder Cup team?
Yeah, and to that point, let me just expound on that just a touch. If you're trying to win, he's on your team. That's a simple equation. Now, the PGA of America might view it slightly differently.
And I don't know if Dennis agrees with the way you guys
Maybe not.
No. It's USA. I want the best American player I possibly can get on the team to play on the team.
He's one of them.
And he's one of them. Let's look out past this other stuff. Now we're talking a whole different game. But what I didn't like about it, to give you an idea of what's going on, how about the Canadian who was leading the tournament, Connor, whatever his name is?
Yeah.
And in the crowd, they were yelling, USA, USA. What's that BS? So you see, even though we are taking a more look at the big picture, here we are having Americans in that thing already beaten up on a Canadian.
Yeah.
That's not right. We want the best player we can get. He's an American, any which way you cut it. And it's USA, United States of America. That's the deal. I think if he earned a spot, he should play. Different than what some other people who maybe wouldn't represent our deal right, who would not be a captain's pick, but could be eligible for a captain's pick.
One final question. Fans booed him Koepka and DeChambeau got booed over the weekend and that kind of thing. Gary, did that bother you at all when they get booed?
No, not really. I mean, first of all, we're in New York, right? They're going to, what's the famous saying? They boo their grandmother.
Sure.
So that didn't bother me. It sure didn't bother Brooks. In fact, I sense a little bit that those guys on LIV, they kind of like that when they get booed a little bit. It kind of gives them a little extra motivation to prove people wrong. I'm not a big fan generally of booing at golf tournaments. I don't think it really should be done, but again, we're in New York, and those fans are a little bit different than the fans in the Midwest.
I suppose I didn't notice it as much, and I don't think you can control the actions of 45,000 fans that are in a stadium setting. You get booed in the NBA playoffs and in a World Series, and some people are going to feel a sense of betrayal that the LIV players have left. The tour stops here in the United States. And I get it. Let them vent that way, safe, benign. I mean, what's the damage being done? I think, to Gary's point, Koepka embraces that. Some of these guys don't mind being a villain. There's motivation in all different ways.
Those guys booing, that's why they're in the stands.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They're in the stands for a reason, because they can't play.
Yeah.
But here are the guy who can play. Let's address the game of golf. I don't care where you play it. I mean, you had great players who came from Scotland, and what the hell is all, But this is USA. It's different. We want the best American players we can to win that cup.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts on this subject, Gary, before we let you go?
Well, I guess my final thought is it wasn't as controversial as I thought it would be, Paul. We all agreed on every one of your questions.
That did surprise me a little bit.
Well,
it's what's right, not who's right.
You got to find
right?
a better topic next week, Paul. Get us going.
We got to get a better guy to lead the thing off.
Boy.
What we're going to do, go ahead and be against you. You'll be writing it in the paper next.
Man.
He didn't say it.
I think I'm going to end this section.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks.
We'll be back.
Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
After this time out at TPC Wisconsin.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and Max are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect radio show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.Golf. Visit Wisconsin.Golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.Golf and Talking Golf. On the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less. Think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
In Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller, I'm Paul Braun, and Jim Buheim is with us. Involved with American Family Insurance, and the AmFam Championship is coming up the weekend of June 9th, 10th, and 11th. Obviously, though, there's activities going on all week, basically. You got the Race for Research on Saturday. On Monday, you got the operations with First Tee and the Wisconsin Skills Challenge. Then you got a couple of days of Pro-Ams. Overall, Jim, where are you? Ready to rock and roll, huh?
Yes, very much so. We had our media day last week, which is, I think, really a flip where we really start to get honed in on the tournament. Excitement builds. The team has actually been out there for a couple weeks already. The build is underway on, multiple holes. First hole, 10th hole, 14th, 15th, 17th, and 18th. So it would be a bigger build than ever. And just super excited about really our 7th tournament, 8th year, but 7th tournament overall.
Last week at that media day, you announced the celebrity foursome on Saturday, and interesting that Zach Johnson is part of that foursome. It has been one of the big sellers, one of the big draws of the entire weekend is that, and it's great to have it continue.
And it seemed like it created a little bit of buzz coming out of the media day. My understanding is we got quite a bit of activity on the website with that announcement. Great to have a couple of the, tried and true with Andy hosting and Derek Jeter, our long-term brand ambassador, but also great to have 2 new players with Zach Johnson and then Michael Phelps, perhaps the greatest Olympian of all time.
We got Michael Phelps over here in the pool maybe at some point that weekend too. And then there's always one of the great draws is the concert on Friday night, because Friday is just one of those full, fantastic days. First day of the tournament, and then you kind of cap that off with a great concert Friday night.
Well, and it's a way for the tournament to be even more than just for the golf fan. It's it's a way to engage more of the community in what we have going on. And if the ticket sales, Tyler Hubbard, formerly of Florida Georgia Line, is the headliner. Ticket sales are picking up, so if we get a good crowd and do good concessions, that concert outcome also enhances what we're able to do from a charity standpoint throughout that week as well.
Yeah, and let me just add this part in, because that's the drive, right? I mean, and Steve talks about it all the time. It's the drive of the tournament. It's what the fans that show up, the volunteers, all of that leads into one of the more successful Champions Tour events when it comes to charity.
Yeah, we're in our 7th year through 6 tournaments. 7 total years. We're just short of $15 million of charitable impact. And I think the numbers, that's through 700 different grants over that time frame. So that's touching a lot of organizations. More than 120, 130 nonprofits last year received grants. And, of course, the American Family Children's Hospital is the primary recipient. They get 50% of the proceeds. So that's certainly, that's the number one reason I think we're doing the tournament. The fact that we get a couple other benefits that go along with it. We certainly get some brand lift from an American Family standpoint, so we feel really good about the investment we're making. But there's more to this than the charitable impact. There's the economic impact
of the tournament itself.
Of bringing all the fans in, the players in, Golf Channel production, everything else. I mean, we're estimating that over the history of the tournament is approaching $100 million.
Sure.
So It's pretty significant. It's more than $15 million a year in terms of economic impact. So we just think there are obviously a lot of really positive things about the tournament.
Are you okay in volunteers and all that kind of? Do you need any help?
Well, we'll always take more. I know that all of our key positions are filled. We've had more than 900 volunteers, sign up and register. But we've got capacity. We've had as many as 1,200 out there before. So we're in good shape. But if somebody still wanted to volunteer, we would find meaningful things for them to do during that week.
Jim, one of the things I love about the tournament is what is Wednesday and Thursday with the Pro-Am. So I was just up at the U.S. Senior Open Media Day, which preceded yours by a day. And with a USGA event there are no Pro-Am. So one of the great things about what you guys get to do is that these players are so fun to be on the course with that the people that get involved in playing the Pro-Am, they all want to be back.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter if you're playing with a star or a guy that maybe you haven't heard of. The guy you haven't heard of is going to knock it 275 right down the middle, put it on the green nearly every time, and shoot under par, and you'll be amazed by how well he golfs. But they're engaging. They'll give you tips as you're going throughout. They'll read your putts, particularly if it's meaningful for the group score. The biggest thing for us from Prime, it's a big driver of the charitable piece, and it's sold out again this year. So that's just great news for us.
No openings again, I guess.
Well, it's no, but this business. Davis Love, I played with Davis Love in the Pro-Am. I'll tell you what he did. We got all done or close to the end. He went and he spent time with the caddy of one of the players in the group, the son, and spent time with that guy, showing him how to hit the ball.
Yeah.
This is a major champion, just took the time and like it was nothing, went out there and did it. Unbelievable.
Well, I know Jay Haas in the past, he's a guy who's captained the President's Cup team in the past. He'll video his team members.
Yeah.
And he'll give them it's like at the turn, he'll give them a quick little lesson, a quick little assessment just based on what he's observed through the first 9 holes.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for AmFam to be involved in this thing, Alice, that's why it's successful. You can say what you want to say, but they're the people who picked up the gig. I go some of these other places. It's not the same.
From what Jack did to what Nate does to Jim, what you do, and all of the people we all deal with in the media, and likewise, it's fantastic. It is. I haven't covered other ones on a daily basis like I do this, but the AmFam folks, and you're included in that, do a fantastic job.
Maybe included.
Well, yeah, possibly.
We're chatting with Jim Boeheim of American Family Insurance, and Jim, also the announcement that in 2025 the tournament will be moving. Kind of take us through the process, if you will, the development of that, and how that decision was made, and that type of thing.
Yeah. So. The decision I don't know that there was a whole lot into the decision. Once you have a TPC course in the area, I mean that's kind of a natural that you're going to play at a course that's specifically designed for PGA tournament play, has the endorsement of the PGA Tour, and have the involvement of the PGA Tour in its in the redesign. With some of that being specifically, how do you set up the golf course for an event like ours? So that part was a natural. The part that maybe wasn't quite as easy is when would we make the move? And I think on our end, we just got more comfortable with 2025. Partly just to make sure the course is mature and ready. But the bigger piece is, it's a big event that we're putting on out at University Ridge. Our team, Nate Pokrass and his tournament team, they need a lot of time to be able to, discern how will we set things up here.
It's like doing it for the first time again, right?
It is. And so this extra time is going to give them the opportunity to be out here, in the next 12 months, really kind of figuring out so that once that last putt drops at University Ridge next year, then we're able to be full speed ahead in terms of TPC Wisconsin for 2025. So a lot of that was about Nate and team and really making sure that we had ample time for that transition.
Dennis, what does it mean to you, being the owner of TPC Wisconsin?
Well, it was great. It was great for us because from our end, we won the tournament this far. And, the business of TPC and the membership and stuff, that bloom will run off that rose before too long. But then all of a sudden, wait, every year, hopefully every year, we have this thing to put the bloom back on the rose, and that's what's really exciting to me. So and Jim said it has to be perfect. Steve and I were out here yesterday. It has to be perfect. Why are we hurrying up here? You've got a great tournament. You got a great success. What are you doing? Let's move into this thing a little bit easier. So
do it the right way.
Do it the right. And our member now has a whole year of enjoying the club before we take in the tournament. You know, it's 10 days they have to give up. Now, I bring that up to members. They say, I can't wait for that. I'll give up 10 days like nothing. And I try to go ahead and be conscious of them being here. But we're excited about it, obviously. Steve is excited about it. It's going to be nice. And it's a tournament course. You know, Jim and I went around a couple of holes. You can see it. It's a tournament course, and it just happens to have a membership. And with all the front tees and stuff like that, it'll be great to play. But it's going to be we went out yesterday and hit some balls on all these long holes, you know. Holy man, he said. Holy man, he says, are there any easy holes? I said, no, we're going to have to play up a little bit on some holes. But we're excited about it. And the people there, they've been, if it wasn't for them, there's no way the tournament would be like this. Have all these things they've got going? Wow.
Any final thoughts?
I would certainly appreciate the comments about American Family. I said the same thing, though, last week at Media Day when Steve was giving us some props as well. A lot of the success of our tournament, though, I'd also look at Steve and the kind of ambassador that he's been for American Family, the kind of host he is for the tournament. The people in this area are coming out to see him. They're coming out to see Jerry. It also helps to have a great anchor charity like the American Family Children's Hospital that's doing amazing work. People feel great about a $25 entry fee when they know that ultimately it's benefiting a world-class hospital that is located right here in our hometown.
Thank you for stopping by. You guys Jim, got anything else?
No, I appreciate it, everything you guys do. And the only echo I'd have to that is it's also successful because of where it is. And I don't mean that University Ridge or TPC, but here in South Central Wisconsin, because these people are fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you, Jim. We'll be back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin after this time out.
I told you.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
TPC Wisconsin houses a world-class golf instruction, coaching, and club fitting experience. Golfers have year-round access to our award-winning coaches and club fitters, state-of-the-art technologies, and PGA Tour quality facilities. If you'd like to learn more about junior and women's golf, private instruction, group coaching, or business clinics, please contact Travis Becker at tbecker@tpcwisconsin.com. Learn from the best. Get better only at TPC Wisconsin.
When you're looking for an amazing golf experience, look no further than Wild Rock Golf Club in the Wisconsin Dells. This stunning championship course offers unforgettable views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is truly a sight to behold. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is a unique gem that offers challenges for all skill levels. Enjoy the Wild Rock experience. Do yourself a favor by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
When it comes to golf, being the best takes years of hard work, focus, and love of the game. It's no different for Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 20 years, transferring our neighbors' homes with new roofs, siding, and windows has been par for the course, and we've mastered our craft. For a free estimate, go to ridgetopexteriors.com. Affordable roofing, siding, and windows, plus award-winning customer service. Get your estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com and let them know Ridgetop Larry sent you.
Bobby Stricker is ready.
Hey, neighbor. Nice mower.
Hey, Sean Cleary. Yep, we really love it. But it takes up so much space in the garage.
I think I can help with that.
Bill's home with his giant work truck that takes up the entire driveway.
You know I can help with that. We are here for every stage of your life. Head to ClearyBuilding.com today.
Sean?
I can help with that.
This is Gary D'Amato, senior writer for Killarney Golf Media and Wisconsin.Golf. Visit Wisconsin.Golf for the latest in golf news and feature stories about people, places, and tournaments in our state. And listen to Talking Golf on TPC Wisconsin to hear me spar with Dennis Tiziani. Wisconsin.Golf and Talking Golf. On the internet and on your radio dial, the voices of golf in Wisconsin.
Back on Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin. I'm Paul Braun along with Mike Heller. And Mike, you're sitting next to a guy that knows somebody kind of famous, huh?
Yeah, Travis Becker, the director of golf here at TPC Wisconsin. And I imagine that watching the PGA Championship this weekend from Rochester took a little different twist for you as the weekend developed, because Michael Block, who's a PGA club professional who qualified for this tournament, he stole a lot of the thunder, and you guys have a background.
We do. We attended the San Diego Golf Academy together, graduated the same year, so I got to know Michael very well on and off the golf course, and what you saw on TV is exactly how he is day to day. So it was just fantastic to watch him and see how he won the crowd over and won all of us PGA professionals over.
You know, we were talking about that off the air. The emotion and a bit of the thunder of yesterday's finish was stolen by Michael Block, and not only on the hole-in-one, which is ridiculous, and the odds of dunking one is even more incredible, but I thought the up and down on 18, because that secures a top 15 finish for him, and he's playing from trampled down area on a near-cut pin, short-sided, on an uphill lie, and he converted. It's extraordinary what he did.
It is. He's always been a fantastic player, and just watching him make that putt on the 18th hole, I was nervous for him.
Yeah.
So to see that go in, I think everybody had a deep sigh of relief, like, thank you, he made it.
And Rory embraced him, right? I mean, that was right. Yeah. So they got to play together yesterday on the final 18. Rory McIlroy, perhaps the most recognized name in all of professional golf today. Michael Block's playing with him, and Rory embraced him and essentially hugged him for the 18 holes that they played golf yesterday.
He did. It was special to see, and Michael is that kind of guy that once you get to know him, you kind of fall in love with him right away.
I know you don't know for sure, obviously, but what do you suspect this may have done for his career and how he goes ahead now?
I can't even imagine. I sent him a text today, and I'm sure he won't read that text probably for a week, because I'm sure there's so many coming in. So it's unbelievable, though, where it's going to go from here. It's going to be exciting.
Travis, let's talk about the lesson program here and your practice to learn and play to win program that you have at TPC Wisconsin.
Sure. We kind of we ingrain with our students practice to learn, play to win. And we say, what does that mean? You know, so many times you go to the golf range and you watch people practice and they're beating balls as fast as they can, or every club they hit is a driver, or they're standing 3 minutes over the shot thinking of 100 things that they're trying to work on. So what we get with our students to try to have them, what are keys to have a successful practice program? And number one is you have to go to the range with a plan or a goal. So I'm going to go there, and if it's working on my transition, I have to stick to just that. And then we like to say there's 3 phases to the practice session. Phase 1 is your warm-up phase. This will be where you start with a wedge and you work your way up to the longer clubs, about 25 to 30 balls. Then phase 2 is your technical practice. This is where you would do 4 sets of 5-ball reps, working on a specific feel or technique that you're trying to improve. Studies show that when golfers go to the range after the 7th ball, they're done learning. Now they're just ingraining old habits. So 5 balls, you can hold your focus, you then take a break. Each ball during those reps, this is a lot, you take 3 swings per ball. So out of the 20 balls, you're doing 60 reps. It takes 60 reps for 21 days in a row to learn a habit. So again, there's science behind the way you practice. And then the third phase is your skill phase. You know, at the end of it, go through your last 20, 25 balls, hit shots like you're on the golf course, play games with yourself, go through your routine. That's the phase you always want to take to the golf course. So when you do get to the course, the play to win, this is where you are out there to play. You're not out there to practice. So one shot at a time, always remember the most important shot is the next shot.
Travis, I want to ask you this, and when you talked about this phase of it, you can't think of multiple things on the golf course. My brother is an electrical engineer. He took up golf at age 69. Everything in his swing has got to be perfect, and he's thinking of 15 different things. And in a nice way, I've tried to tell him, it doesn't work. Is that a fair assessment? in terms of multiple thinking? Why can't you think about multiple things?
So I like to say the best equation for performance is taking your skill level minus interference. Okay, and the more you are thinking about more things, the more interference you have. And your brain is trying to tell you to do certain things and you cannot be athletic. So to help people that get over the golf ball with so many thoughts in their head, you need to develop a process. And I like to we'll use the words PPEE. You plan, that means you're getting information about the shot, the yardage, the wind, the lie, where you want to hit the ball. Then you prepare. Get a simple feel that gives you success. Then it's time to execute. This phase should be really fast. Not a lot of thinking. You want to stay athletic. And then after you hit the shot, you evaluate it. So plan, prepare, execute, and evaluate. Just like you do with business or everything you do in life.
I've got two final thoughts for you. One, this that you talked about, practice to learn and then play to win, that translates into, let's talk about your youth program, the conference champions that were just crowned over the last week or so. A bunch of them come from your programs here at TPC Wisconsin.
They do. I'd like to give a shout out to some of these young individuals. We had Owen Wagey from Edgerton, a freshman who was the player of the year for the Rock Valley Conference. Spencer Stuckey from Kettle Moraine shot a 72 in his conference tournament to win it. Kean Beistel-Flores from Cambridge, again, shot 69 to win his conference and also player of the year. Then we had Casey Nickel right here from Wanakee, who was the conference champion and the conference player of the year. Alex Ross from Mineral Point shot a 72 to become the champion. So they're coming from all over, but they follow this philosophy.
That's fantastic. Let me offer one more. We just watched the PGA Championship. In a few weeks, we'll watch the U.S. Open. Those tournaments are built around what the rough in the golf course does. I've been out here for all these years hitting balls. Nobody drops one down in the rough. Just from a sense, there is a way to play from the rough, but in order to do that, maybe coming in seeing you and working through the process, this program works on how to handle that situation, right?
Exactly. So, again, that's a great point. You know, when you go to the range, every lie is perfect. Or it's teed up.
Yep.
So it's good. Maybe you're up playing 9 holes by yourself and drop a couple balls in there and what kind of technique. That's stuff we help you with on how you should set up. Maybe open your club face a little more grip pressure. Ball position back a little bit. Choose the right club to get it out of the rough. But we actually on the range will drop balls in divots.
Yeah.
How do you hit out of that divot? So not only the rough, and when you go practice your chipping, not every lie is perfect. So bury the ball in the grass and put it in a divot and put it on hard pan.
Well, another component, including having Travis on, Director of Golf, is Bobby Stricker is going to be doing a segment on the show about women's golf. And we're going to talk about different phases from a woman's perspective. And we'll be back with Bobby after this time out. This is Talking Golf at TPC.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Watch PGA Tour champions, including tournament host and Wisconsin native Steve Stricker, at the American Family Insurance Championship when it returns to the University Ridge Golf Course Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds will support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and the American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Friday, June 9th through Sunday, June 11th.
Oak Park Place is a proud sponsor of the Golf Effect Radio Show. While golfers need peace of mind to succeed on the course, Oak Park Place offers seniors and their loved ones peace of mind by providing the right balance of care centered around an active lifestyle. Hi, this is Pat Richter for Oak Park Place. Choose a senior living community with neighbors that become like family. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Locations throughout Wisconsin. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something
Brakes started at
extraordinary?
649.44.
Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
It's time to lock in your tee time at University Ridge Golf Course. Now taking reservations up to 90 days in advance for the 2023 golf season. Book at universityridge.com. Proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship, University Ridge is a course for everyone with tees ranging from 5,000 to 7,200 yards. Even if you don't have time to play, stop out and play on the free putting course or pay $20 to hit practice balls for an hour on our grass tee practice range. Play where the Badgers and the pros play in 2023.
Hi, I'm Sean Cleary. When we started Cleary Building Corp in 1978, quality, craftsmanship, and customer service were just how you did business. Those values and traditions are even more important today. No matter how you utilize your Cleary building, we design, engineer, and manufacture everything in-house so we can back up the promise to deliver the building you deserve. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. Visit clearybuilding.com today. You'll be glad you did.
A new year, and maybe it's time for new equipment. If yes, Nevada Bob's is the place to go. Jeff and Max are the fittest fitters around, and they can set you up from driver to putter and everything in between. And anything else golf-related, wheel and deal with Joel.
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Back at TPC Wisconsin, along with Dennis Tiziani, Mike Heller, I'm Paul Braun, and joining us now, and it's a pleasure to have on Bobby Stricker, who's going to be doing a series of segments on the show this summer, and it's going to come from a woman's perspective, and we're going to talk women's golf. Bobby, first of all, thank you for being part of it. Just give us a very quick update on your status. Where are you right now, and what are you going through in your process on the Epson Tour?
Yeah, well, hi, guys. I'm excited to be on the show. Yeah, I'm down in Florida right now, and I just finished my second Epson Tour tournament of the season last weekend. Missed the cut, which was a bummer, but made my first cut, the first tournament that I played in, which ended up kind of being a big deal. I got in to my first one right before a reshuffle happened. So my priority number it got better, which just means that I get to get into more tournaments than I kind of thought I was going to this summer, which I was super pumped about. Kind of can make a schedule now and know where I'm going to be at least for the next 6 weeks, which is super cool. And then still in Florida, and then, I start another tournament on Friday.
And, Bobby, let's just do a little preview. You've been thinking about it from a woman's perspective in terms of what you're going to be covering for women in golf and that kind of thing. And when you and I talked earlier in the day, you wanted to start from the concept of women in relation to even coming to a golf club and how they're accepted when they get there. So just kind of give us a feel in that area.
Yeah, so, I've been brainstorming a lot of different topics that I could talk about, but like an overarching, just, topic that has for sure gotten better over, recent years. And I was talking about it with my mom today, and especially since, she was younger, is just this feeling of women not really being included in the golf space, whether that be a country club or, just this kind of the sport in general. You still kind of have, the men's grill at country clubs. You have the men's days. So there's just kind of this aura as a woman that, you don't really feel super included or really wanted there. So I'm going to talk about that and, just some other topics that could be interesting to a female audience.
Bobby, it's Mike Heller here. Bobby, it's good to hear your voice, and I keep following what you're doing, so keep up what you're doing, and we're really excited for you. your little sister is going to be carrying the bag for Dad this week.
Yeah.
So when we talk about women inclusive in golf, it doesn't happen very often. Your mom's been doing it for a long time for Steve.
Yeah.
What's Izzy in store for this week when she is the caddy for Steve?
Yes. So I actually just talked to her a couple hours ago. It's just her and my dad on this trip.
Yeah.
So some great quality time, and that's super interesting just in itself. So, but yeah, she was tired. She's carrying the big bag, and yeah, she's just gonna learn a lot this week. I know that for a fact. She'll be with my dad, obviously, but you're surrounded by a bunch of really good golfers and then other caddies that you're kind of coming at the game at a different angle. I'm excited for her. She's super excited.
Dennis, that's really true.
I can't wait to hear all the stories.
Dennis, that's truly a learning experience for Izzy, is it not?
Yeah, it is for him. I mean, for her. But, and that's a concern. But the real one is somebody who's out there playing on the tour, and that's Bobby. This is the one we want to spend, or we do spend the time with, so that we can give her encouragement as she goes forward. Because playing this tour, any tour, it's terrible. It's rejection. How do you handle rejection? And she's getting that, and I think, and I know her history is in her future as she goes down the road. She gets a few more reps for this tournament. Of these tournaments, watch the difference.
Yeah, Bobby, I was curious about that, what you learned in that first one, making the cut, and then you learn as much when you have failure many times. We all want to have success, but what have you learned in those first two tournaments that might be different from one to the other?
Yeah, that your brain is really powerful in a positive and negative way. I am really glad I didn't know kind of what I needed to do necessarily in that first one. I made the cut, and like I said, it was a ginormous deal, and I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until I was done. And then, this last week, the course was a lot tighter, and I was uncomfortable with my golf swing. So it's just, getting used to being uncomfortable. It's a new thing for me. I was uncomfortable the first one and played well, and I was uncomfortable the second one and didn't play well. So I'm learning, and I've been told by multiple people in my family that that's just the sport, and but I love it, and I'm loving being out here. So
cool, Bobby. We want to thank you for your time, and we look forward to the weekly segment when we can talk specifically about women's golf. All the best to you down in Florida.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's Bobby Stricker. Guys, we got about a minute left. Any wrap here, Mike?
Yeah, Dennis, it's something that I took that you told me a long time ago when we've talked about tournament success.
We got 50 seconds.
Players have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. And that's where we're preparing her for. But she has to get into those positions, and she needs to get to positions as quick as she can where she can fail.
Yeah.
Get in there. And I used to try to get as close to Jack Nicklaus as I could. I did get all these places to know that, oh, man, you got a long ways to go, buddy boy, All
right, we got to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed the show. For Dave McCann, our engineer, for Dennis Tiziani, for Mike Heller, Paul Braun, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being on board as we bring you Talking Golf at TPC Wisconsin.
News Talk 1310 WIBA Madison. Available anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app.